Man, how cool is this? This is a blackfellas hand cave. We're in Wiradjuri country to the local indigenous people. So cool to see this stuff. There's just handprints all over this wall. There's also some tools like boomerangs and woomeras and things like that. Really cool. How they used to do it, I believe, is they used to just get ground up ochre, sort of put it in the mouth with some water, and then just put the hand against the rock and then blow over the hand and it'll leave a stencil. So cool to see. Just goes to show Australia has a very ancient culture. It's good to see that stuff like this still survives. Yeah, very, very cool. G'day guys, thanks for joining me another walkabout. Back out here on the western side of the Blue Mountains, or in Wiradjuri country as it's known to the Indigenous. Yeah, I've been wanting to come here for quite a while, eh? I've heard good things about this area. It's very renowned for its interesting rock formations. It's got sort of lots of rocky pinnacles and caves and slot canyons and things like that. So there's a lot to explore around this area. So yeah, pretty excited to be here. But yeah, having not been here before, not quite sure what to expect in terms of campsites, whether I'm sort of going camping in a cave or got to put a bivvy on the ground with the tarp over me, so not quite sure. We'll just have to see what we can find. But yeah, it's meant to get down to about -2 tonight, so by far the coldest I've ever camped in, so that should make things pretty interesting, I reckon. But yeah, anyway, it's about 1:30 or so, so I might go for a little bit more of a wander around and see what we can find. So I've just made my way down from the top of that little ridge into this gully. It's really pretty in here, so it's going to follow this for a bit and see where it goes. Oh man, have a look at this place. It's like Fern Gully. This is some beautiful country around here. Absolutely lovely. Seriously, get a load of this place. It's absolutely incredible. This place is insane. Yeah, so I think I'm probably going to try and get out of this gully now. It's getting pretty steep, eh? It's a pretty deep gully, so... And I've kind of realised I don't think I want to camp down in here. I was thinking maybe I could find a cave down here, but I think ideally I want to be up on top of the plateau. That way I get a pretty nice sunset and sunrise. Also, I think being down here, it's going to be a bit colder and a little bit more damp. So yeah, let's see if we can find a way out of this gully. Man, what a view. That is incredible. It's absolutely breathtaking. Shame it's not sunny. Actually see some rain sort of blowing in, so I'm hoping it just passes pretty quickly because I do not want to camp up here in the rain. Man, what a view. Cannot get much better than that. Alright, well I think I found where I'm going to set up camp. You see behind me is a bit of a clear area, which is good. I've also got this big rock here to sort of use as a bit of a windbreak. It's not too windy. It's meant to also drop right off during the night, but there is a bit of a slight wind, so I figured if I just sort of set up camp around here, that way any wind that does come up, it should sort of be a bit protected. I've also checked around me, just above me, just to see there's no dead branches. And yeah, I think I should be good. So anyway, let's get that set up. Yeah, so I've just got the Australian Army hootchie with me today, so I'll just string that up between this tree and maybe another tree, or maybe put a post in. Alright, sweet, all done. Took a little bit longer to get it set up. It's pretty fiddly because I didn't have another tree to tie off to, so I had to sort of cut a post and play around with some guy rope, so a little bit fiddly, but that weather started to come in now. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit, so I'm glad I got this set up in time. So I might try and collect some firewood while I can, in the hopes that the rain clears off and I can have a nice fire. Alright, let's get that. Alright, so I'll probably just have the fire about here. Just going to give the area a good sweep, just try and get all that leaf litter away. Probably sort of make about 1.5 meters or 2 meters diameter of just bare ground, so that way no embers are going to fly out and start any bushfires. So it's very important, so let's do that. Cool, that should do. Alright, well, I've just collected some rocks. Just going to sort of make a bit of a rock base for the fire to go on top. That way it don't really sort of burn any of the roots or anything like that. Yeah, cool, that should do. Now let's get some firewood. Good thing about around here is so much fallen timber. Makes collecting firewood pretty easy. Alright, well, camp's set up. Got about 10 minutes till it gets dark, so let's crack open a beer and take in the view. Just got some paper bark there. Yeah, and that's just some stringy bark. Yeah, so does anyone know if this is a jack jumper ant? I only learned about these guys not too long ago. And apparently they're a super sketchy ant. Apparently they're one of the most deadly ants going around, from what I read. They're sort of a black bull ant with orange pincers. And they're everywhere tonight. I'm so glad I got my bivvy. There's so many creepy crawlers running around. Yeah, so I got a new beer for this trip. It's called Hawke's Patio Pale. And for those of you guys who don't know who this legend on the front is, he was one of Australia's greatest Prime Ministers, Bob Hawke. Unfortunately he passed away a couple of weeks ago, so I figured I'd buy a case of this in sort of, celebration of his life. But yeah, fun fact about him, he could scull a beer faster than anyone you've ever seen. So just YouTube, Bob Hawke sculls beer, and it's incredible. Even at the age of like 85 or something, he could scull faster than any 21-year-old. So actually I'm pretty sure I used to hold the world record for the fastest scull of beer or something like that. Anyway, check that out. But I'll read the little spiel on the sides here. It's pretty cool. It goes, this easygoing tropical style pale ale goes well with sunsets and wooden decks, cicada sounds and banana lounge. Best enjoyed cold and with your feet up. And then proudly supporting Landcare Australia, which is also pretty cool. Yeah, and then a nice little sip in the Serenity on the front, so it's a cool little touch. Yeah, then I guess some brewery decided to name the beers after him, so yeah, not a bad drop, eh? Definitely worth checking out if you're into your pale ales. Man, this rain, it's just been constant drizzle for the last hour or so. Like, you look at this hootchie, absolutely soaked. Such a shame, it wasn't even meant to rain at all this weekend. It's meant to be clear and sunny all weekend, so you just never know, do you? Kind of ruined my sunset though. I was really hoping to get a nice sunset, but fortunately these clouds rolled in a bit too early. So fingers crossed, tomorrow morning when we wake up, get some nice clear weather, because I really want to get some cool shots of like the light going through the valley and lighting up the sandstone cliffs, and should be able to get some sort of early fog as well through the valley, so which will look pretty cool. So fingers crossed for some sun. But yeah, it's pretty cool to come check the spot out. Like I said, I've had this on the radar for about a year or so. I remember seeing photos a little while ago and thinking, man, what an incredible landscape, and sure is, like just walking out here to the edge of the cliff this afternoon, just looking down in the valley, man, it's pretty impressive. Just the whole landscape's got a very sort of raw and ancient feel to it, and yeah, it's a pretty special place. And that's not just this place in particular. Like this whole area is covered with sort of cool gorges and valleys and rocky pagodas and things like that. So definitely going to be coming back in the future, because there's so much areas I can go explore. So yeah, very keen to sort of spend a lot of time around here. Anyway, gonna, like I said, did I see a moth fly into the fire? Anyway, like I said, it's starting to rain, so I might quickly put the food on, and get some tucker into me before it gets any heavier. So let's get that. You idiot. What are you doing? Come on. Not into the fire, buddy. Other way, other way, other way, other way. Oh, you guys are idiots. Look at ya. Look at ya. Not the biggest coals in the world, but hopefully they'll do. So I've got something a little bit different for today. Rather than the usual kangaroo, decided to buy a nice piece of New York cut beef. So, a bit of a treat for me. I don't usually eat much beef, but this one's grass fed, which I think is pretty important for the environment. So yeah, pretty keen for it actually. Haven't had this for ages. Yeah, and to go with the steak, I've just got some broccolini. Put in a nice dollop of butter. Oh man, these moths, I don't know if you just saw the moth down here. There's these massive moths and they're everywhere. Like literally there's dozens of them flying around. It's doing my head in, to be honest. They keep flying into my light. They keep crawling all over me. They keep falling into the fire as well. I don't know if you can see it down there, but one flew in there, so it's doing my head in. Yeah, so See down there? They're everywhere. Alright, time to flip it over. Oh man, how good does that look? That looks absolutely delicious. Alright, well I think they're done. I think this steak is about done as well. Oh yeah, she's cooked. Steak and veg. Pretty simple dinner, but it looks bloody tasty to me, so let's get stuck in. Alright, let's see how we've done. Oh, a little bit overcooked. Yeah, it's a little bit too well done for me. Oh, still good, but yeah, ideally I probably would have rather a little bit more on the rare side. Oh well. Oh man, that is so good. Oh, you little fuck. Get out. Oh, these moss are doing my head in. Oh. Go away. That is so tasty, especially when you haven't had lunch today. This is going down an absolute treat. Alright, well you guys don't have to watch me eat this whole thing, so I'm just going to finish this off and I'll get back to you guys in a bit. Man, these moss, I've seen about 15 fly into the fire throughout the night. Look, another one, just then, seriously. Oh, they're crazy, they're suicidal. Anyway, I think I'm going to pack it up now. Like I said, it's constantly raining, so I'm getting pretty wet sitting out here, so I think it's about time I put up the bivvy and then crawl into it. It's going to be interesting to see how I go throughout the night. Like I said, it's meant to get down to about -2, so it should make things interesting. Anyway, I'll get up for sunrise in the morning, so I'll see you guys then. Good morning guys. Not so lucky with the weather this morning. When I first woke up I thought I was in for a good chance for a nice sunrise, but unfortunately the cloud was just a bit too thick. It's a bit of a shame because I really would have liked to have got some nice photos of some nice video of the rays of light going through the valley, but oh well. Still really cool watching the fog move through though. That's pretty impressive. But man, what a campsite, eh? Cannot complain about this backdrop. Absolutely stunning, eh? Yeah, sleeping last night, eh? So good. I had probably one of the best sleeps I've had camping in a while. Like, I was so toasty. It was very surprising considering how cold it was meant to get. But I bought some new merino wool thermals the other day, so I think that combined with like a good sleeping bag and also having the bivvy, I think that kept me pretty warm, eh? Actually, in this bivvy, so this is an Outdoor Research Helium bivvy. It's pretty good. Like, it's got like a hoop that goes over the front just to keep the fabric off your face. Yeah, I actually really like it, eh? So it's really light too, so if you're in the market for one, probably check them out. Actually, speaking of campsites, I've had a fair few people sort of message me and sort of ask me to sort of clarify on how I sort of choose where I go to camp and stuff like that. Because obviously sort of this kind of off-track, self-reliant bush camping, yeah, it varies from place to place. So for example, like in Queensland, I'm pretty sure this kind of camping's not really allowed in all the places, which is a bit unfortunate. But in New South Wales, it's a bit more relaxed, and then I think even in Victoria, it's a little bit more relaxed than that. But yeah, it really varies from place to place. So you just have to sort of read up on the laws in your state. But also, each park has their own rules too. So, for example, this place is actually a state forest. It's not even a national park because there's a lot of coal in these cliffs, and so there's a few coal mining places around here. So yeah, so this is still a state forest, so you're essentially allowed to go off the beaten track and camp and things like that. So that's why I chose this spot. Even still, like some of the national parks around here, you're also allowed to go camping there, I'm pretty sure. A good place to sort of start and figure out if you can or you can't is to read up on the plan of management for the park. So you can usually find that on the National Parks website. There's usually a PDF where you can sort of download, and you read through that and it'll sort of state, there's usually a section on camping and recreation, and in that it'll sort of state whether you can do sort of self-reliant, off the beaten track bush camping. So some places don't allow it, some places you have to camp in a designated campground, other places do allow it. So it really varies on the park, so you just have to do your research before you go. But yeah, I find you just got to start treating the bush with a bit more respect. I think like a lot of the national parks kind of had to bring in sort of designated campgrounds because so many places are just getting trashed. There's a lot of idiots out there who just have no respect for the bush. They just go there just to have a big piss up and trash the joint, leave rubbish and broken bottles and all the rest of it. And like one of my pet hates is when people go to the toilet in the bush and just leave the toilet paper just sitting on the ground. It's so grubby. Like, just dig a hole, bloody hell. But so it's because people like that kind of ruin it for the rest of us. So I just find if we start to have a bit more respect for the bush and just leave a place better than when we found it, or just as good as we found it, then I think like over time then they'll sort of treat us a bit more like adults and allow us to sort of do this kind of camping. Like, even though for this, for example here, I've kind of cleared the area, I've had a little fire. As soon as I leave, I'll make sure the fire's well and truly out, I'll scatter the ashes and I'll recover the area with the leaf litter so it looks like no one was here. So I find if everyone just kind of does things like that, just treats the bush with a bit more respect, then we should be able to do it a bit more often. But yeah, so anyway, just look up the plan of management for the park and you'll sort of figure out whether you can or you can't do this kind of bush camping. Anyway, it's about 10 o'clock. It's a long weekend this weekend. I'm actually going to go down into the valley down there. There's another campground down there where you can drive up with your car. So I'm going to go down there and meet a couple of mates and spend the weekend down there. So yeah, it should be nice. So anyway, I better get this packed up pretty soon because it's already starting to get pretty late in the day. So anyway, I'll chat to you guys before I leave. Nice little trick if you don't have any much water, just use some of the dirt just to clean your pots and pans. Might look a bit crazy doing it, but trust me, it works. Alright, well, everything's packed up. I've put the fire well and truly out, scattered the ashes, covered the area back up in debris, so it looks like no one was here. Man, look at the clouds coming up the valley. That looks incredible. Man, look at that, eh? Absolutely incredible. It's going to be very hard to top this campsite next time. Anyway, I think it's time for me to boost on out of here. So as always, thanks so much for watching, guys. We really appreciate your support. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun making it, so definitely keen to come back here in future. If you're new to the channel as well, and if you like this kind of stuff, feel free to check out my other videos. Anyway, till next time, guys. Hooroo.